Good morning, and welcome back to the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree blind playthrough. I have to confess that I was a little bit irritable in the last recording. I think it was because I had a difficult setup process, but I'm going to try and be a little bit lighter today. I'm not very pleased to see, as I come in here, that we are straight away getting started with this boss. I don't like this boss. I think I made that abundantly clear in the previous livestream. And the reason why is because he's very frontal. He's got this really big head that he's basically sticking in your face. It's almost like having something in your personal space. It's just this big fucking hippopotamus head in your face. And it feels like I'm struggling to get around it. I'm going to need a few attempts to really understand how this boss works. I just really don't like bosses like these. It was really giving me the shits in the last recording, but the thing is, so many other things were giving me the shits that perhaps the impact of my dissatisfaction or general frustration with the monster was muted, because I was seemingly complaining about everything. But, yeah, this hippopotamus boss is very strange. It's unusual to me that they've decided to have what is the hardest boss so far, such an innocuous animal, like a hippopotamus. I mean, admittedly, you wouldn't want to be dealing with an angry hippopotamus in real life. They are very aggressive and indeed dangerous animals, but it's a little strange to have it in Elden Ring, and it's also strange to have a hippopotamus that is so dangerous within a video game, within a fantasy setting. It seems a little absurd, but that's just me. Rather than go in depth into whether or not that's a good idea or a good boss design or in any way sensible, I'm just going to play the game. Beverage today is gin, but I will try to not have too much because, as I explained in the last recording, I do want my reaction time to be decent while recording this. Alright, so, just making sure my audio levels are okay. So I wasn't able to summon anyone last time. Let's see if I can summon someone on this occasion. I just need to remember how to do it. I think it is... I'm having a weird mental blank where I've forgotten how to actually do it. So create summon sign, does that. There we go, yeah, it's fur calling finger remedy. How weird is that? There we go, I've got some summoning signs this time. Take you with the big club. Oh, that's right, I'm pressing Y to make my selections. I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 in my own time, actually. For no particular reason other than I realised that I was sort of in the mood to play a Souls game, and it ended up being Dark Souls 2. I just have such mixed feelings about that game. Whenever I'm tempted to say that I'm at peace with Dark Souls 2, I play it, and then all of the mixed feelings come back. You know, there is definitely pleasure to be experienced in playing that game because it is a Souls game, but so many things were misguided in the creation of that game. So, yeah. Alright, I've got these guys by my side. I've got a decent weapon lineup here, so let's go with this. I'm going to be playing fairly defensively. I actually don't know how many runes I've got sitting here. Oh, I said playing defensively, but I now realise that this is not really working. What an excellent start to the fight. I'm just trying quite desperately to get seemingly no runes back. I didn't have many runes at all there, so... Oh my god, he's also got a big outward attack. No, stop it. Okay, so... he doesn't do the attack instantly. He sort of opens his mouth, then runs. The running animation is indeed the dangerous part. I really don't like this boss. Don't know why my laptop is asking if I want notifications turned off on Discord. Love to get the poison proc here. Although we could be resistant to poison. I don't know if I actually determined that in the previous fight or not. I don't know where you are, man. There you are. I don't know why he looks like this. He looks even more ridiculous with all of these spines coming off him here. Oh, okay, so he's doing the eating animation. He's killed one of our summoned people by doing that eating animation. Oh, okay, you're doing that attack, sort of. What was his name again? Radahn. Star Scourge Radahn. A bit of a Radahn raining attack there. Obviously not a well-timed roll. Although my timings with him are not very well established. I just find this boss to be slightly overwhelming, I don't know why. It looks like I do have poison working now. So if I do have poison working, I might try to get this whip on the go. Alright. He also has a rolling attack. It seems that in this mode, it can be a challenge to actually stay within his range. I hadn't picked a good time to be aggressive there, as you noticed, because he was doing that rain down attack. I was hoping that perhaps someone else was the target of that, but that was not the case. Lost a bit of health needlessly, and indeed in a dangerous situation also. Oops, shouldn't have done that. And it looks like it's just me and this boss now. Because our summoned person is... Oh, so I completely lost track. So again, here's the problem with this giant head. So what happened there was I was trying to find a point to target the boss. And because I hadn't targeted the boss, I was sort of slightly facing away from him. But then just the sheer size of this head physically moved me around, moved me in a bad position, and I got killed. Like, seriously, this boss is terrible. I hate it. I really, really don't like it. It is by far my least favorite boss that I've encountered so far, possibly in the entire game, not just the DLC. So, there you have it. There is my feelings. There are my feelings on the matter. But I'm going to persist and keep on trying. I'm pretty sure that poison works. I might just try summoning one person, because of course when you summon two, you're dealing with a much stronger boss. So I don't really like a scenario where I've summoned two people, they both die, and then it's just me versus health that has been scaled up for 3 players. So that really doesn't work. So let's try just summoning this one person and see how we fare. Might be easier to learn the fight as well. Let me do a buy my sword. I didn't quite see what he had there. It looks like he has dual blades of some kind. Oh no. He's got a sword. Oh, I know that sword actually. Yeah, he's using that sword. And he's doing some casting as well. Did you see that? So I tried to roll through it, because I can't roll to the side, and I certainly can't roll... I can't quite believe he just did that twice in a row. That blows my mind. Alright, let's get some poison going. Not sure what his bleed resistance is like, but it's probably fairly high. Alright, I knew that was coming, but I didn't want to get a precise roll on that one because he... Oh, I can't quite reach him over there, so I'll have to settle for this. Alright. This guy is basically doing the fight for me, which is good. Can't complain too much. It's an excellent example of why magic is so strong compared to more melee stuff. Yeah, alright. I hadn't summoned him with the intention of him carrying me in that way, but that's fine. It's obviously a bit extreme. Got Ring of Mikella for killing that boss, apparently. That's lovely. And I don't really have any runes here. So my impressions of that boss are as follows. Big fucking head. Just basically spoiling everything. I can't quite get... I can't get in my groove with this giant head getting in my way. I also hate those opening attacks, right? Where he just sort of runs forward with his mouth open. You could see what I did at the beginning of this fight, this final attempt, was I rolled into his mouth. Now, you could see very clearly that I did have successful invincibility frames in rolling through it, but weirdly, it's almost like my body was then repositioned in front of his mouth after rolling through it. So maybe that's inevitable. That's probably how that works. So what I probably should do, if I ever find myself fighting that boss again, which I certainly will, I don't know why I'm phrasing it in that way, but when I do it with other builds, when I fight this boss, I need to make sure that I'm completely evasive when it comes to that. I need to actually run away. I need to be as far away from him as possible when he's doing that attack, because I can't really roll to the side, I can't roll through it, because he's too fucking big. So that's one thing to avoid, but that's only one small part of the fight, to be clear. Alright, so looks like I can actually, now that I look at this, get another Shadow Realm Blessing. Oh, I can do it again. There you go. And I don't think we can do any more. Alright, so I think, if I remember, it's something like 180,000 runes are required to level up, so let's see. No, it's 209,000 now. I think it was probably 180 when I started, but it's now gone up to 209, which is fine. So, the effectiveness of poison against that boss seems to be material. You can actually see that he's taking damage from it, so that's good. Obviously, some bosses would be resistant to poison. At this stage, not sure if he is resistant to bleed or not. I'm going to tentatively assume that all bosses in the DLC are resistant to bleed. Or at least the major bosses, rather than the small mini-bosses that you might find underground. A fairly obvious reason as to why this is the case. People in the base game, especially when the game was coming out, were heavily subscribed to the bleed system of the game. We're using it a lot, basing their builds around it, and I, because I'm using a dexterity build, also have a little bit of bleed going on with my build, so yeah, it's a little bit too strong, a little bit too easy when you're heavily reliant and focused on bleed with your build, so they've just made the bosses a bit more resistant. Well, entirely resistant, actually. But I guess when I say a bit more resistant, the bosses are a bit more resistant to how strong the players are. But, of course, when it comes to magic, and this has been a balancing issue forever, like since Demon Souls, when you're using magic, you're just going to kill everything very easily. It's just a reality. There's nothing you can really do. Okay. So we got a gesture from that, of course. Maybe I'll... I mean, how do I like this? Yeah, I like that. Let's replace Rallying Cry with... Ring of Mikella. That looks kind of funny. Looks very YMCA, you know. As in the dance. Alright. I don't think there's really anything more for me to do in that room, so... I don't really... I'll tell you why I don't feel that concerned by the fact that a guy basically just did my boss for me. It's because I really, really don't like that boss. I have absolutely no respect for it. I don't look at the boss as well-designed. I don't really see anything of that sort. All I see is a boss that is intentionally designed to be extremely frustrating. So I don't think it's spoiling my experience to have someone basically complete it for me. I really don't care. Oh! That is the classic knock you off a narrow walkway because you're running past them not realizing that they are there. It's kind of familiar would be the way I describe it. I did actually put a notification out saying that I was going live, but no one's joined, so there you go. I guess everyone's busy. That's fine. See if I can get it backstab in. Oh, he turns around very quickly. You can see that is very intentionally designed to avoid backstabs. You might be able to get in there fast enough. In fact, I think if you were to do this, if you were to just slowly edge up to him, that would probably work. There is indeed a sneaking feature in this game, so that would be an excellent example of where you could use it, but I did not do that. Oops. I do like the serpent bone blade just visually. It's got a very serrated edge along the top, and I like the curvature of it as well. It's pretty cool looking. Oh look, it's another one of you. Who would have thought? Have you noticed that there appear to only really be two enemies in this DLC? We've got those soldiers who have the fancy attacks, and then we've got these knights with the slightly gilded armor. Oh no, this is not good. The problem with that was that this guy, Mr. Knight, has a little bit too much health. So I wasn't able to deal with him before dealing with his boyfriend that he was kissing when I entered the room. So, yeah, we'll give that another try. It may not be acceptable for me to use poison against him. Maybe we'll try fire. The fire perfume bottles. And I'm in two minds about these perfume bottles. I enjoy them. They also become a little bit boring pretty quickly for me. I mean, I haven't completely lost a sense of novelty when it comes to them. I think they're kind of fun, but... Oh, that's right. You'd think I would have remembered. That's how ambushes are. Sometimes it's a case of out of sight, out of mind. And indeed, I didn't remember that you were standing there until I saw you. Oh, here we go. Sooner than expected, I have an opportunity to do a sneak backstab. For demonstration purposes. Okay. Do you suppose... Well... What I do suppose is that I shouldn't forget that this guy is here. That would be the first comment to make. Yeah, alright, congratulations. Have to get some perfume bottles for you. Good flinches. I'm happy with the flinches. Alright, so what I was going to say is, do you suppose that if I shoot one of them, I'll be able to avoid aggroing the other? Don't be a little prick. Alright, now for you. Oh no, he's straight in it. He's eager. Probably shouldn't have done it that way. I'm glad he walked into it like that. See how long his combo is? You really have to be smart with how you approach that. Okay, well whatever. I should have healed rather than continue to engage. Sometimes you need to just get the hell out of there, otherwise it won't work. Mr. Twinblade, Mr. I'm going to swing this thing for like 7 seconds straight, and you just need to deal with it. It's so frustrating. One thing that I did notice on Twitch, actually, through OBS, I stream at whatever it is, 6,000 kilobits per second, I think that's what it is. And that is actually the upper limit of what Twitch accepts. That has always been the case. I'm not going to get into the details as to why that is the case, but yeah, that's how it works. OBS is outputting that, but sometimes it outputs more than that, and because it outputs more than that on occasion, it creates what's called an unstable live stream, because basically the stream is going beyond the upper limit of what Twitch can handle. So maybe it would be sensible for me to instead stream at maybe 5,000 or 5,500 or whatever. I might try that for the next live stream, because I did comment recently on the fact that Twitch has always told me that it's unstable, even though I can see very clearly that it's not. But that's what it means. What it's actually telling me is not that I am getting low speeds, it's that I'm getting speeds that sometimes surpass what Twitch can handle, which presumably affects the way that the live stream is delivered to those of you watching. I don't really get much feedback along those lines. I think you guys can see it just fine, but maybe there are some people who do struggle to get a consistent and smooth stream when watching me, and they just don't say anything, they just move on. So, in case that is what's going on, I might I might change my stream speed. My concern is that Twitch already looks like shit, okay? So, like, even at 6,000, doesn't look great, especially in moments of high movement. So when there's high movement, things start to get pixelated. That is at the highest bitrate that I can stream at on Twitch. So the idea of lowering it, quite frankly, is off-putting, but I don't think it'll make a huge difference if I just take it down a notch. Just enough to make sure that it doesn't end up going beyond the 6,000 mark. And when we say beyond, we're talking like by between 50 and 80 kilobits. So it's almost nothing, but it's enough for Twitch to complain, and possibly enough to cause issues for people watching. Well, actually, I'd like to do the heavy shot on you. Have I told you that I don't like you, and that I'm sick of fighting you guys? In case it hasn't been made clear, I really don't like you guys at all. Maybe I can get some poison off on you. I'm not feeling the perfume bottles. Oh, I thought I saw some green there. I'm just gonna beat on you to death. Ugh. Felt a little bit dangerous there. Black Knight Greaves? Oh, they're called Black Knights. Okay. Very well. Where are these? Black Knight Greaves. Well, there's lots of Black Knights here, but you'd expect that in the Shadow Realm. Anyway. Main Gauche. Definitely need to double check the pronunciation of this. It's very French, I think. Main Gauche. Main Gauche? I don't know. But, yeah, it's got a C scaling with dexterity, D scaling with strength. It's a rapier, obviously, not something that I intend to use. It's actually got a parry skill on it, so if you're familiar with putting a rapier in the left hand as opposed to the right hand in previous games, what it does is it's like a rotation animation, which actually works as a parry. So it's interesting that this has a parry skill, presumably in the right hand as well. Excuse me. Let's have a look. I'm going to... Maybe I'll replace this just for demonstrating, to demonstrate what this looks like. Okay. Oh, okay. So I said that it was a rapier. It's not. I mean, it did say that it was a dagger, but when you've got a handguard like that, it really does make you assume that it's a rapier, but it is instead a slashing dagger. Look at that. Now let's try its skill. Okay. So it actually has a parry built into it, which is really interesting because what we've got here is a dagger that is encouraging you to parry rather than a rapier. Daggers have always been acceptable for critical builds. If I remember, daggers actually have the highest critical capacity, like even better than rapiers. But the thing with rapiers is that their base damage sort of ends up being better to multiply with the critical multiplier rather than the base damage of a dagger. That was the logic behind me using rapiers back in the first Dark Souls game. But maybe it's worth using it here, I don't know. I tried doing parrying in Elden Ring with a build. It was what later became my quality build. Initially I was going to have it be a parry build, literally. But parrying only in this game is a bit awkward. There are a lot of confrontations where that's not going to be possible, or at least not parry into riposte. That's what's most important. If you're going to be parrying, you want to also be able to riposte. But even against enemies that I could parry, it didn't feel very good. The timing was a bit strange. The timing was different to what I was used to in previous games, but also it didn't feel very clean. It didn't have the sort of satisfaction that you'd get, say, in the first Dark Souls game, and I think Dark Souls 3 as well. Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2 parrying felt a bit weird, and the animations were not very smooth, and it was a bit awkward, but anyway. Interesting weapon, especially on the visual level. It's actually only got a 110 critical. Do I have another dagger to use as an example here? Okay, well interestingly, this rapier has the standard critical damage, so Not all rapiers are going to have 110. Usually 110 is what you get on a rapier, and then it's like 130 on a dagger, if I remember. That's how it was in previous Souls games. They may have changed that standard here in Elden Ring, but yeah, that's fine. Might go back to the Noble's Blood Slender Sword. Well, no, what I'll do is this. So we do Noble's Blood Slender Sword with a secondary. Let's keep with the whip. I'm happy with the whip being a secondary, because it's so markedly different from swords that it feels like a fun offhand weapon. In some cases, I shouldn't even describe it as an offhand weapon. It's actually perfectly acceptable to use as your primary. But anyway, I've got a nice tree in the middle there. Looks very, very royal. Looks like something you might find in the gardens of an ancient Chinese emperor or something. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going in the wrong direction if I drop down here, or going in the right direction, but perhaps it doesn't really matter. Let's give this a try. Oh, we're back here. Okay, let's... I was also concerned that perhaps I'd be going back the way I came. Okay, we can see that tree over there. I'm glad I turned to see that you guys were here, otherwise I would have been engaging that other guy with you two behind me. That is definitely a standard experience in these games. The slower you make your way through an area, the lower the chances of getting ganged up on. Should be able to just push you off, actually. Alright. You guys don't even have enough health for me to really benefit from the bleed, but that's alright. I like this weapon. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. It's cool. Oh, of course. I think it's only been about 5 minutes since I last fought one of you, so that means I am due for another Black Knight confrontation. This is excellent. Always happy to fight you. I have no qualms about fighting you, of course. That was me attempting to go for a backstab. He's pretty good at avoiding backstabs, isn't he? It's a little bit dangerous walking around here, so... Oh, okay. You could see what he was doing there. I want to take us into this room if possible. This is a better place to do battle. Okay. Was not expecting him to reach me from that distance. That's why I hadn't healed and was still evading instead. I mean, in various confrontations you would prioritize healing over getting out of the way because you might be in such a dangerous position that it's actually better to just go for the heal. I would have done that had I realized that he could hit me from that distance. It's not like I haven't fought them before, it's just that I haven't recently played and I had forgotten that he had that sort of reach. I was a little concerned that he might, but I took the risk anyway, and in the end, did not work in my favor. Now, I don't have to fight the Black Knight again. Literally the only thing that I got, sorry, when I say the Black Knight, I mean the Twin Blade Black Knight. I don't have to go in that direction again, because all that was actually in that room in the end, oh for goodness sake, I've so had enough of you. All that was actually in that room was that dagger, so I can just deal with you. And then perhaps shoot you as well, because I don't trust you to... Oh! I don't know what's happening with you and why you're still alive, but it's a little bit inconvenient. I'm going to shoot you as well, because... Take that, man. I did actually know that I had the sword in my left hand there. That's why I swung it. Alright. Yeah, so that's just to make sure that I've got a nice confrontation zone for this Black Knight coming up, in case I do need to use it. Oops, I put myself in the corner. That did not turn out well. Not doing well this time around, am I? You could see that as I positioned myself between them so that I could swing and hit both of them, I ended up getting trapped in the corner between them. That was not a good result at all. Who would have thought that playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 in my own time actually set me in worse stead for Elden Ring, rather than serving as a sort of warm-up, you know. I should be pretty familiar with how to play a Souls game right now, but it's not doing me any favors, apparently. I don't know if I'm playing impatiently, or I'm not playing with greater care than I should be, but... See, even when I know that you're here, you cause issues. Because apparently your special little attack can hit through shields. And look at that, your invulnerability period, just for a little bit of feedback from me, is too long. I would like it if it were not that fucking long. Thank you. Hey. I'll be making sure you're dead this time. Goodbye. Prick. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. If I'm being a little aggressive again, maybe I'll get a sword out. Nagakiba. How do I... Oh, it just... I actually just held down triangle to power stance. That's how you know I've been playing a bit of Dark Souls 2. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Congratulations. In fact, if you could come over this way, my friend, this would be a great place to fight you. Alright. Made short work of those guys, and that was really what I was aiming for, because I could see that the way in which I was fighting them last time and the time before was very aggressive, and so I thought, well, if I'm going to be aggressive, I'll do this. What was that? Could I have an explanation for why that was a completely failed backstab? Oh my god, go away. Whoops. Do you know what that was? Do you know why I crouched there? I was actually trying to jump forward. As an evasive maneuver. Did not work. And I know why. It's because I'm playing Elden Ring. Yes, the jumping is actually just this button now. And I don't really know if that's going to increase my... or increase distance between myself and the enemy any faster. So, there you have it. Oh, great. Really good. So I've got a Great Bow Black Knight, a Mace Black Knight. I've got all of them here. I've got a fucking royal flush of Black Knights right now. Where did you go? Has he just wandered off? Did he not see me? Well, you, sir, need to get yourself over here right now. I'll pick this up if necessary. Golden Vow. I don't really think I want to be aggressive with you in general, so let's bring you back over here. I'll fight you down here. I'm just finding good places to fight these enemies, because if I don't, then I'm going to end up rolling off things. Like, for example, if I fight them on this walkway, I'm definitely likely to just roll off the edge. If I fight him in this room, obviously I'll have to deal with Mr. Greatbow as well. As I say, precarious. Could you please come over here now? I feel like I've really gone out of my way to actually get you to engage me this time. Shouldn't be necessary. Backstab? Yes, thank you. Pleased to see a much more reasonable invulnerability period as compared to your soldier friends. Alright, where's our great bow friend? Speaking of friendships. He's run away. He has gone and repositioned somewhere. God knows where. Maybe he's just evaporated. Oh, he's gone over here. Why on earth? Two questions. Why are you there? And second of all, why are you doing this? Oh, he's very confused as to what to do. And because of his confusion, he's dead. Just wanted to check something. Cool. That's a way for me to check to make sure my SSD isn't shitting itself. I don't know if you remember. Well, no, you wouldn't remember unless you saw the The last live stream when I was having issues setting things up. My God. Let's not relitigate that. Alright. So, I don't know what on earth that Black Knight was doing. That's why I wanted to make sure that there wasn't an issue with my SSD and maybe the game had disconnected or something, because I felt that for him to be moving in that way, something's clearly gone wrong. Indeed, something had gone wrong, but it wasn't on my end. It was the game being a broken mess. Let's see what we've got over here. I never trust open areas. Like, open spaces with things to pick up, I don't trust them, but apparently there's no danger. So, I was expecting something to drop down, in other words, but that was not the case. I feel like I can refer to this as a traditional Souls location. It's like a castle, a keep. And progressing through here feels very natural for this game series. I've got some boats filled with ash. Look, I even had my shield raised. Like, do you know why I had my shield raised? It was because of the expectation that something was lurking, but indeed, having my shield raised was not enough. These fucking midgets. Dealt with a few of you midgets in the base game. They did very well to get my bleed gauge up, though. Where are they? Oh, I see, they're hiding. Really hiding. Militiamen. Are they hiding behind the boats or inside the boats, or did they literally just spawn out of nowhere? At this stage, I couldn't say. Oh, I thought that was a sheer drop. It is actually. Well, at first it looks like a slipway into the water, but no, it's not. It's a stairway. Alright, what feels best at the moment is for me to continue in this direction as far as I can go. Yes, they are hiding in the boats. In fact, they were really ready to go. How about I go aggressive with them? Beautiful damage. That's really what I like to see. I mean, look at that damage compared to that sword that I was using. The, well, I was not exactly going to get a Noble's Blood Slender. I'll just call it the Noble Sword. So, that Noble Sword, it's good damage, but not like this. Look at that, that's absolutely nuts. And then I've also got a bleed ability with that too, so... DPS with these two katanas, much better. But obviously the downside to it is that I'm a little more vulnerable. I can still fast roll, but... yeah, if I'm committing to high damage, it therefore means that I'm committing to an attack rather than a defensive maneuver. Which means I have to be on top of my evasion as well. You are getting... oh, okay, I thought I might overjump that. I thought I had accounted for this, but... still overshot it by quite a bit. Hello there. Very important to have high damage when dealing with multiple enemies here, because the sooner I've killed... you know... the sooner I kill them, the less time I spend fighting more than one at a single given moment. Hand fatigue. Oh, okay. We have unlocked a shortcut, and this is an excellent time, in fact, for me to use my runes. I have accumulated quite a lot. I've got 313,000. Only enough to level up once. I think I was increasing my arcane, was I not? Definitely the right time to be doing it, while I'm using these katanas. Right, this is the door that I just opened, I'm quite sure. Yep. And I get to fight these guys again. Bit annoying that you jump over me like that. Let's get out of that poison cloud. One thing I absolutely adore about these two swords is how long they are, my god. It blows my mind that the Nakakiba is even longer than this thing. I mean, the washing pole I don't remember how long the washing pole was, and I think it's in this game as well, but I think the Nagakiba is better, probably with its special attack, and also, I would presume, its durability. And that's why I'm not using the washing pole, but I think even for the washing pole, this is very long. I would say that the washing pole is probably the length of Melinia's blade, and then this Nagakiba is probably the longest katana in the series. That's just my guess. That's what I think is the case. Okay. Hopefully I don't alert any of these other militiamen to my presence, and we can just do battle with this guy. I saw you from a distance and assumed that you would be a bit of a task. Oh, I believe I've seen that somewhere before, have I not? In a previous game? The way your sword is working? I mean, it's a little reminiscent of Gwyn from Dark Souls 1, but I feel like there's a bit of a Dark Souls 3 thing going on. Oh my god. That lasts for much longer than expected. Got hit by the follow-up there. So this guy is basically a mini-boss in his own right. He's got a very interesting sword. Look at that. Very cool. It reminds me, I think, of isn't he the final boss of Dark Souls 3? The one with the big hole in his chest. I believe I'm remembering that correctly. And he's got a flaming sword, and you can get the flaming sword. Whereas, unfortunately with Gwyn, when you get the Great Lord's Sword, I think it's called, doesn't have any flaming ability. Ridiculous, right? I mean, imagine giving you the sword that Gwyn uses, and then you can't even make it flaming. I guess it was just not something that they were willing to animate. It might have been a little bit too much for that game. Would have been very cool, though. Just want to get my runes back. Ow. I think it might be safer to use the whip, actually, on you. I don't really want to be in your range. Oh, how beautiful is that? That was... Can't deny how lovely that was to see. Alright, got our frost proc there. See that? I love that. That is so cool. Because of how it visually looks, it's got so much personality. The way he holds it vertically like that to guard, and then he has a built-in counter. Goodbye. Takes him a little while to give you the thing that he is dropping, but that's because he's got a bit more of a dramatic death. Very cool enemy. I think he's very nice. More of that, and less of these just endless Black Knights. It feels like all I have fought in this DLC just about are Black Knights and those soldiers. I don't know if I'm being unfair, maybe that's normal, but I just... a little bit more variety. I think it's the sheer number of them. It's not how often I come across them, it's how many of them I have to fight. It just gets very boring. Anyway. Specimen Storehouse, I see. I don't know if this is a new location or just one room that may have some significance. Apparently you can summon for here, so I can't imagine it's just a single room. This is probably the first room in a larger area. What's going on with you? Oh, it's one of these weird black guys. Very good. Okay. Making sure there's nothing hidden here, and it turns out there is something hidden. It's a rather sneaky militiaman. Always want to hold triangle to go into power stance here. Every time I bring these out. Go away. Take that. Ember of Mesmer. Oh, alright. Because I wasn't targeting this gentleman, I was able to just turn my character towards the threat. Okay, looks like we've got two directions to go in. We can either go back that way, or into here. I think into here might be the best way to go. What do you think? Not that anyone can respond, but... rune arc. Just going to make sure everything's fine with the live stream. Yeah, that looks alright. Happy with that. Alright. So because there's actually an elevator going down, I think it would be right to say that that would take me into a different section of this location. So I'm going to try and explore everything on this level first. That's the way that I'm going to proceed. Oh, God. That tracks very effectively, doesn't it? Did that completely miss me and then just redirect 180 degrees? I think it did. Alright. Got this down here, another Ember of Mesmer. Mesmer. I really should check to see if I can make use of this in any way. Is it item crafting or is it something else? Okay, so what I would do instead is go into inventory and then crafting materials. That is where I would find that it is indeed here, Ember of Mesmer. It's just a little bit distracting because in a previous life, how long ago was this? Like 15 years ago, back in Modern Warfare 2, I had a clan that I was a part of, a sniping clan, and one of our members was Mesmer. Dawn Mesmer. And, yeah. We weren't big time, certainly. Particularly because we were on the PlayStation 3. All the big stuff was happening on Xbox 360, but we got around. Oh god. Getting a little bit dangerous here. Bit of a Duke's Archives feel to it. Not really Duke's Archives, more like the archive in Dark Souls 3. Which I can't really remember the name of. It was probably referred to as a library in that game. But this is a little different because this is not paper, it's actually stone tablets. Which is also pretty cool. A little bit awkward if you need to get to the stone tablet in the middle of that stack, or perhaps even at the bottom of that stack. You're not dealing with stacked books, you're dealing with very solid stone. I mean, I don't know how much one of those tablets would weigh, but I'm going to tentatively guess, you know, between 30 and 50 kilos. But, I mean, some of the thinner ones might not be, but yeah, you're dealing with like a 30 kilo weight, I would say. Stone tends to be quite solid. Alright. Oh, it's one of you. Well, this is not good, and I'll tell you why. It's because I didn't engage him on his own. That is the reason why I tried to get out of there immediately. I was not prepared to fight you with other people around. As I say, he's basically a mini-boss. So, because he's got a lot of health, he's very capable of fighting back. And look, if I have to fight him as well as other enemies, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to work. I've alerted you, so I must dispatch you. I don't know whether to call that pyromancy or fire magic, but we'll call it pyromancy, huh? It was only really Demon Souls where you had fire magic. Oh, very good. These have pretty wide slashes, these swords, so I don't have to be super directional. I've just about had it with you. No! What I thought was going to happen there was I'd fall under the stairway and be safe from the fire. Again, I'm making the wrong decisions. I'm running instead of healing. I should heal then run or something. Because you can heal so fast in this game. Let me tell you why. I'm running instead of healing. I've been playing Dark Souls 2 recently, okay? That is a game where you can't just heal right then and there. You take out your Estus Flask like you're physically disabled in that game. So, you know, I just don't... I'm not in the headspace where I can just do a quick heal with my Crimson Tear Flask here. It's not how I'm playing, and it's not doing me any favors, as you can tell. I mean, actually, playing Dark Souls 2 before playing Elden Ring is not helpful at all. So, when I was playing in the previous live streams, I hadn't really played any Souls at all. I was sort of defaulting to instincts probably recently picked up from playing Elden Ring, and perhaps also Dark Souls 1. And maybe a little bit of Dark Souls 3, but Dark Souls 2 is a game that I don't know, I tend to compartmentalize that in my head. But because, in other words, I compartmentalize it to the extent where it's only when I've recently played the game that I start to fall back on habits formed in Dark Souls 2, and I have been recently playing it quite a lot, like this week and last week. So, yeah. It's not, as I say, doing me any favors whatsoever. It's a bit awkward, but that's fine. I need to go forth with care. I don't exactly remember where this enemy is. A lot of this place looks kind of the same. I just stood and took that hit because I was actually trying to get some movement up to perform a roll, but then wasn't able to. I mean, you can do this. This has an iframe, but I don't know. I tend not to do that because it feels very unnatural from having played all of the previous games. Ah, you've got twin daggers, okay. Oh, how cool is that? They've put so much effort into this guy. These are the sort of enemies that I want to be fighting in this DLC. This is the standard to which I hold from software for the Elden Ring games, whether it be the base game or the DLC. But no, I've been fighting fucking Black Knights. He seems to be bleed resistant, but not frost resistant. Oh no, that was a bleed right there. Very good. Okay. So he's dead. Don't have to worry about him anymore, and the fact that I engaged him means that I am going in the right direction. So I think he was standing over here, which gives me smithing stones. I'll take the smithing stones. I suppose the fact that I'm getting these smithing stones dropping is that they don't necessarily expect you to be really, really end game here, because smithing stones, when you're at the end game, can just be purchased. It's not a problem. You can just buy what you need. You do not need to pick them up in the field, but I'm getting them anyway, so fine. There's another one. Let's just make sure there are no other enemies in the area. And then I might draw him towards me with a bow. Can I get the head? Okay. I have very expertly loosed 2 arrows on either side of his head. I can't quite believe this. Alright. I probably shouldn't take him on in a ranged capacity. That's something I'm going to not come off as the better of the two. Come on, just... Let's go. If I stand here, will you come around? You're not going to be hitting me while I'm standing in this position, my friend. He is slowly but surely getting closer. Alright. I'm just concerned that there might be other enemies down there. That's why I'm doing this. That's a scary attack. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that. As I say, he's doing scary things, so I'm playing it safe. Looks like he's got a different weapon again, so he doesn't have a dagger, he doesn't have a big sword. Oh no, he does have the daggers. Oh no, he's one-handing a dagger. Is that right? Or is it a short sword of some kind? No, it looks like a dagger. So weirdly, the other one that I fought had 2 daggers, but this guy had 1. Maybe when he holds a single dagger, he can do these big flame attacks that I was seeing him do right there. Hello? You've got a green head. And I'm not sure why. Alright, so I'm going to continue at this level before going up there. See what's around. Cool. This is potentially where the elevator would have taken me anyway. I really don't know, but I'm going to say that might be possible. It's another dual-wielding dagger man. He's trying to give me a hug with his daggers, though. The whip has good range, but not that good. Don't be near him when he's doing that. That would be my advice. I knew that he had closed the distance, that's why I went straight for the attack. Oh my god, you're fucking frightening, you know that. Ooh, that is not a way forward. Realised that pretty quick. You can see I'm not doing any strong attacks at all. There's a reason why. It's because it's very slow. Well, not very slow, but a bit too slow. What I want is nice, quick attacks here, because you can see the poise damage. You've obviously noticed by now. The poise damage of this whip is impressive. So actually it's best to do these quick follow-ups. I'm not going to do any strong attacks. I can probably do that as an opening move, but I wouldn't do it in the middle of a combo, because that's likely to cause me to lose my advantage. It would give the enemy time to recover. Oh, I like that. Mwah. I have to do more of that. Because you get both swords out at the same time. Nice big heavy hit after the roll. So I can see there's a door there, but that's not how I progress through areas. I will go back to that door when I feel ready. When I feel worthy. Alright, let's go, Flamey. Flame Man, I can see you've got your big sword out. Oh, did you see how he repositioned like that? He actually stepped backwards. I don't know if that was intentionally to get out of my range. I don't know why you're there. I didn't see you there. I very deliberately killed your friends so that I could fight that guy without you there. But no, you were there after all. How annoying is this? It feels like I have to do all of that, all of what I've already done, over again from the beginning. Because, I don't know, fucking, yeah, I know you're hiding behind that raised platform. Fuck you. I'm really frustrated I have to do all that again. I feel like I was doing perfectly fine, and like I was very methodical, making sure that all of the enemies were killed before I engaged the crimson-robed man. And then, no, there was one prick hiding and he completely ruined the fight. Because I'm getting hit by fire from behind, I'm then having to overcompensate for it. It's just, ugh, very annoying. Not what I was looking to do. And certainly having to do all this again from the start. I can only stomach so much. Anyway. I'll try to only go in the directions that are absolutely necessary for me to progress. And I believe it's this way. I don't know if it's up there or not. Is it up here? Yes, it is up here that I want to go. Alright. Yes, alright. Anyone else? Maybe I can avoid that fellow by going this way. Again, as I say, because I've been here already, I want to just take the shortest path to my point of progression. Alright. Go up these stairs. I don't think I will alert the other red man. Don't really know what to call him. Red warrior. No, I don't think I will use that term. Alright, here we are. So, where was the one hiding? It was you. You were the one who had secreted yourself, probably unintentionally. I just didn't notice you. They do go unnoticed quite easily. That did not work at all in my favor, and the reason why is because I overestimated the range. What ended up happening there was I gave myself some distance and then pushed him out of my range. I do like that attack that he's got. Very cool. I don't like that. Barrage attack. When you've got poise damage on your side, aggression helps. Otherwise, I'm on the back foot. Hello, Mad Duck. Welcome to the live stream. Apparently there's a new Hyrule Warriors coming. Well, I didn't play the original, so I'm not that interested. Now I don't even know what... Okay, Tears of the Kingdom, TOTK. I still haven't even worked out what the acronym is yet, but... Well, I've worked it out, as you can tell. But I don't have instant recognition of TOTK yet. They're marketing it as a prequel, but it's probably going to be some alternate timeline bullshit again. Most likely. Our true prequels are... Or I guess our true sequels would be... Phantom Hourglass and Majora's Mask, I suppose. But I think it's also said that Majora's Mask is not... I guess it's a true sequel, but possibly also alternate time? I don't know. So yeah, prequels, sequels, I mean, who cares? Who cares? One thing I did get, by the way. I bought this, which I will be playing soon. I will play this in due course. I plan to do a blind playthrough of it. Echoes of Wisdom. I don't know if I'll enjoy it. We'll just have to find out. I don't know if it's going to feel like a normal Zelda game, right? Because I looked at the trailer of Echoes of Wisdom, not too sure if it's going to scratch my Zelda itch or not. Oh, this is a door that does not open. Okay. Well, there you go. I suppose I could have confirmed that before. Anticipating for this to be my way forward. Okay. Okay. Echoes of Wisdom is great. It's very different from a normal Zelda game. This is not what I want. Okay, if you're going to give me Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, fine. If those are going to be a departure, I'll accept it if you've got a traditional Zelda on the side, like Echoes of Wisdom. Oh no, turns out Echoes of Wisdom is also very different, at least according to Mad Duck Wizard in the chat. Seriously, this is not what I want. I want traditional Zelda. How hard is it to ask for that? It's not a stagnant... It's not a stagnant way forward if you can maintain a good formula, but no, they're just breaking all the molds, I guess, because, well, we've got a new generation of gamers. It, of course, doesn't mean that Echoes of Wisdom is going to be bad, or that I'm not going to enjoy it, but I really don't want a complete abandonment of the traditional style, and it seems like if we're going to get traditional, it's instead going to be a remake. Maybe they just don't believe that they can do it. Maybe they don't believe they can make a good traditional Zelda game anymore. I don't know. Or they think it's so tired and worn out that it's not worth making anymore. I really don't know where the thought process lies. Well, apparently it's sometimes good and sometimes terrible the way they build the dungeons around the way the game works, so great. Can't wait for that. Dungeons built around gimmicks. Skyward Sword, yes, I remember that. I hated it. Hated it! But fine, let's just give Echoes of Wisdom a try, I guess. Why have 2 separate departures from the standard? Why do that? It frustrates me deeply that they choose to do that. I guess I can just play the old familiar games. Is that what I'm destined to do? Just keep replaying the original games? I mean, I'm sort of happy to do that, because they've got a nostalgia factor, but I just don't get it. To have 2 separate departures. Anyway. So, I feel like I've fully explored that upper area. At least I've explored it to my satisfaction, I can say that. So that means we might take the elevator now, because I didn't actually see any elevator while I was up there, so this must take me to a different area. I would assume that. But yeah, Echoes of Wisdom does look different. It looks, I mean, obviously it's imaginative. It gives me a bit of a... This is probably incorrect, but might be a little similar to how Drawn to Life works. Like, your imagination is the limit. And apparently that's quite similar to how Breath of the Wild... Not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom works as well, as your imagination is very much a feature. And I don't dislike that as a way forward for the series, or as an evolution, but I don't want it to be at the expense of the way the games used to be. If you're going to go to the trouble of having 2 separate concurrent series, you know, a more cartoonish style, and also a more, let's say, realistic style, if you're going to have those 2, why have them both be based on the same principle? Why do this? I'm so frustrated by it. Anyway. Zelda rants while playing Elden Ring. I did see the Dusk Bloods. I don't really have much of an opinion on it, to be honest with you. It could be good, but obviously I don't have a very close relationship with From Software games that are like Souls, but not. I'm not going to get into that discussion again. Apparently, I mean, people are saying that it's a Bloodborne sequel. I feel like I need to actually start enjoying Bloodborne before I play The Dusk Bloods. I think that's a really stupid... The Dusk Bloods. That sounds like something that you'd see on the front of a teen vampire romance or something. Sorry. I just find that to be stupid. The Dusk Bloods. I think what really spoils it is bloods, plural. I think that's really similar. Alright. Obviously when I say sequel, I do mean spiritual successor. If it were a sequel, it would be called Bloodborne 2, right? Well, no, I suppose they wouldn't be able to do that because Sony owns the rights to the name, presumably, but also, yeah, spiritual successor really is good enough. What is that? Like, what was that attack? Hello, I'm suddenly going to excrete a jet of blood and kill you instantly. Enjoy. Yeah, good for you. Let's go back. I'm in the mood to be aggressive now. Get out of here. Alright, maybe I should target him. Okay. Gotta love jumping attacks where you've got absolutely no downward momentum. Or in other words, you know, no downward direction on your slash. Just feels wrong. Yeah, the damage is much higher with these blades out. This is my I'm gonna shit on your face strategy. Currently unleashing Aussie Rage as we speak. Alright. We're not going to go that way because I don't think there was anything in that direction, so... As you can see, I'm not even benefiting from the bleed functionality of these blades. They are just... by way of sheer raw damage, killing these enemies in short order. There's that attack again. It's great. It's really good. It happens quite suddenly, and I guess there's ways to avoid it. Oh, whoops. Yeah, just don't kill me. I've got some runes there. I've already lost 100,000 runes in this recording. I didn't say anything about it because I forgot. I was too busy talking about something else. Are you done now? This guy can launch some sort of disgusting ranged attack at me. Fortunately, he is dead before he can do his big outward bleed throw, whatever you can call it. We've got our little jar people. As you can see, these blades have a good width to them as well, in terms of their effective range. So good for crowd control also. And, yeah, it's not just the length of the blades, it's the way the slashes go out. See, you've got some nice long horizontal slashes, so these blades are just beautiful. I love them. Very, very fun to use. Looks like we've got a bigger one over there. Does he look larger than the other ones to you? Oh, Jesus, what's this? What on earth is that? That really heavily curtailed my mobility. You do look bigger. Are you gonna run at me? I just don't want you to run at me, okay? Is this what you do? You just conjure this really annoying stuff that... Oh. Yeah, I thought you would explode like that. I'm learning. Goodbye. You are bigger than the other ones, but not necessarily harder. Iris of Grace. That appears to be a talisman, is it? I don't think it is. What on earth is it then? Is it a key item? Doesn't appear to be. This is right at the bottom. No. So it's not a key item, and it's not that. Is it a tool? Iris of Grace. Okay, when I picked up that golden vow, I thought that was an incantation. It is not. It is, in fact, a tool. Fits within the tools category. Here we go. Iris of Grace. Place on the eye of another to grant them the light of grace as a fleeting blessing. Okay. In the realm of shadow, this artifice was employed by the priests of the Erdtree to quell the fears of their flock to magnificent effect. Okay. I'm not completely sure what this is used for. I mean, if we see someone who seems cursed, perhaps that would be useful. Or if they're a bit down on their luck. Let's move on. Almost have enough runes to level up again. So hopefully by the time we reach the next site of grace, we will be ready to level up again. Once again, have two directions to go in. Might go this way. Oh, okay. Leads to the same place. We needn't overthink it. Okay, Okay, that time I was able to kill him before he could hit me back. Any more living jars? Sometimes it's not very clear which ones are alive and which ones are dead. Like, for example, this one that's standing upright I thought might come after me, but it did not. I think we're due for another boss, aren't we? It's starting to feel like we are approaching one. Even if I don't have enough runes to level up now, I will be able to acquire more. Yeah, okay. So I only need another 2,000 or so. So let's consume these ones. That should do me. Yeah, that's 3,500, that'll be enough. Yeah, I can imagine the lore behind the pot people is grim because I saw a place where they were being created. I saw it while I was on my way here. Once I take Arcane to 25, I will leave it there and start focusing on Vigor, I think. Unless I want more stamina, potentially. I should observe my stamina and see if I'm happy with it. I think I am. I haven't noticed that my stamina is running out prematurely in any particular situation, so I think I'm happy with my endurance where it is. I think Vigor can probably go to either 55 or 60 before I move on to a different stat. Mind can always go up, I suppose, but I don't know if you've noticed, I haven't really been using much FP. I have been a little bit, it depends on the weapon that I'm using, but I guess that's my fault. I should be using more of these, like Spinning Slash, yeah. So far, really, I've only been using FP for the Mighty Shot on my bow. So I've got 2 doors. I'm assuming that one has to be open because this one can't be opened by us, yeah. If you've got 2 doors, it's usually the smaller one. Well, I'm not sure what's up ahead, but I'm sure it's something. When you make your way up something like this, and I guess I could jump on Torrent, but that doesn't sound like any fun, does it? Goodbye, bat people. Doing my regular slash there because I feel like it's got a little bit more vertical reach. Okay. Got a bit of greenery up there. Oh god, what's happening? Where is this coming from? Okay. From where do you originate? Oh, it's hitting me through here as well. I'd just like to know where you're coming from. Oh, apparently there is no shelter from above. Like, even if I'm standing in these archways, it's just not good enough. I'd just love to know where it's coming from. It feels a bit stupid for it to just be materializing above me. Oh, you're doing it from that far away. I can't believe that he's casting that shit from that distance. That's incredible. I mean, I'm sure it's just for this confrontation, but that's extreme. Alright, I think you've had enough of that. Come on. This one seems different. He's got a really big hood. Maybe he's like a caster of sorts. I just want to cancel his attacks with my poise damage. That's what I'm aiming for. Just keep it nice and aggressive. Don't fall into his rhythm. You instead should define the rhythm. And that worked in my favor. We've probably now got access to this giant hood. I did equip it, but apparently it's not doing anything. Do you know why that's probably the case? I think my SSD might have shut itself. This does happen. Let's do the test. Yeah, see how this isn't loading? It's very annoying when this happens, but periodically my SSD does shit itself. I was hoping I'd figured out a way for it to not do this, but it's just going to make recording this game much harder. So it periodically disconnects. It's very annoying, but... Let me try and fix that now. And we're back. I had to make an edit within the VOD because I was having SSD trouble and had to reset the whole game. Like unplug SSD, plug back in, etc. It's good fun. It's exactly what you want in a live stream because, you know, it's not like we're live or anything. Alright, back in the game. We killed that enemy and we will now see what his hood like. His hood likes. We'll see what his hood looks like. It looks really stupid. I look like I've got an extreme deformity, like a physical deformity. I don't know how much of it is empty space or how much of it is something sitting on my head. I really don't know. But maybe it has some sort of effect. There's no mention. Oh no, wearing it increases intelligence. Well, what is it? 11 from... Oh, okay. Well, that's not very impressive. 2 points. I guess it's okay. For just what is effectively fashion. Like, just for putting on a helmet, you get some extra intelligence. I guess it's not that bad. I shouldn't dismiss it out of hand, but anyway. At least it has some sort of function. Hello, AJ. Good to see you. Seems like you tuned in while I was having to deal with SSD troubles. But yeah, once I sit through that big, long loading screen, the first time loading screen, it's all fine. But yeah, I'll continue for another 20 to 25 minutes. Yeah, the Bloodborne loading screens at launch were one of the reasons why I fucking hated that game. I only played Bloodborne at launch. So, yeah, I think they were... Can't remember what the loading screens looked like now, but they were awful. Fucking awful. You'd be sitting there for 2 minutes, basically. Or a minute and a half. Which was unacceptable then. And, you know, not really something you would encounter now, but... This looks really amazing. This looks like a... an abandoned city. In, like, I'm thinking of... the ancient Americas. Very cool. I'm going to explore in this direction first, because it looks like the most likely to not actually lead to anywhere. Going this way feels like it won't be anywhere. Aha, we finally made it. We've made it up to that elevated area. Remember the one that I said that we would have to go in a different direction to reach? Because we were going up here, right? And we couldn't quite get up there. Or was it? No, that was over here. So I might be able to reach that now that we're up here. But I can't really see where that would be. So that would be to the west, would it not? Yeah, I suppose we will be able to reach it from up here. Because now that we're nice and high, we should have access to the rest of the DLC. Got a big castle in the sky up here. Well, it's actually not so much a castle in the sky, so much as a very tall castle. Look at it. It's huge. Very Castlevania, don't you think? Look at that. I think because of how gothic it looks. So I think we were just in there, weren't we? Yeah, that's where we came from. Pretty cool. Yeah, that was really just a scenic adventure that we just went on. A very short adventure. Get out of here. Alright. I don't mind riding Torrent, at least for the moment. Is this where we came from? Yeah, that's where we came from. And we've already used our runes, so we needn't try to level up again. Alright, let's go this way. I'm going in all of the less likely directions. Right, because if I go in the directions where it's unlikely to be a point of progression, it means that I won't have to backtrack here later on to pick up, you know, random things that might be strewn about. Like this. Golden Horn Tender. Not very exciting, but it's something. You never know when there might be something important just hanging around here. Oh god, you're strong. You got Frosty, I saw. Frosty the bear. Now, I can't quite account for why you decided to stand on your hind legs as if you were looking to see where I was, because I was right behind you, and right next to you, and constantly by your side, from the moment I started whipping you to the moment that you perished. So, there you go. That was a very docile bear, when you think about it. As for being able to see Anor Londo from here, I don't know if that's just you saying that you would like there to be a tie-in, or if there is actually some sort of tie-in. I really don't know. I would guess not, but anyway. Looks like there really isn't much to do here. This is just a place for me to go through and also to look at. And to appreciate visually. What is that? I prefer not to deal with that, please. You are slightly annoying. Not sure how to get up there. Don't know if it was worth taking 2 hits, but anyway. I see you've got a pot. You wouldn't happen to be African, would you? Carrying a pot above your head. Here we go. It's one of these enemies again. My favourite. See how my poise damage works on him. Yeah, pretty good. He's very good at moving in and out of your range, though. Okay, when he does that attack, there's no flinching him out of it. He's committed. Am I getting a call? That's really annoying. You know when your phone really loudly vibrates because you're getting a call? I mean, that shit is so fucking annoying. I'll call them back in like 15 minutes because I am indeed ending the live stream at that point. Oh, stop it. Did you see that my whipping was completely off target there? Very good. Now he's dead. I need to figure out where the hell I was. Because the reason why I'm coming this way is because I wanted to get on those tree roots. And try to get to where that enemy was before. Oh yeah, that's right. I've got access to the lantern from here. Alright, so tree roots. I believe there's an item over here. More smithing stones that I can simply purchase should I need them. But thank you. I guess I can save my runes. Yeah, great. I'm getting on torrent now. I think I've had enough moving around on foot. Going back and forth. I'm assuming these doors open. They better open. Should I go down there first? Probably. Oh yeah, I haven't actually looked into Night Rain at all. I don't know if it's worth even paying attention to, but it might be good. I'm really not sure. I haven't looked at a single thing relating to it. What I assumed when I first saw it, and this would have been clear for anyone who watched the first live stream of this DLC that I did, I was under the impression that it was another DLC for Elden Ring. It turns out that it's not. It's actually Elden Ring Night Rain, a completely separate game, and it's going to be different from Elden Ring in a few fundamental ways. And as I say, I wasn't aware, had no clue, so... Yeah, I said something along the lines of, well, this is as good a time as any to play the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, seeing as though we've got another DLC on the horizon. Well, that's not true. This is probably going to be the final DLC for Elden Ring, which is fine. That's usually how they do it. They just have a... Well, no, that's actually not true. There were several DLC for Dark Souls 2, but, you know. Got a big scorpion spider? Maybe it's just a spider. And not a scorpion anything. No, I think it had a scorpion tail, didn't it? But it was hairy like a spider, very unpleasant. Yeah, I did see the Dusk Bloods. I just can't take that name seriously. I think it's really ridiculous, but... Hairy scorpion. No, not good, not good. Get out of there. Get the fuck out of there. Quick, quick, quick. Come on. Why are there 3 of you? Why on earth would I need to fight 3 of you at one time? Seem to be quite weak to frost, though. As it happens. Alright. Goodbye. It is with great pleasure that I see you fall on your back and fade out of existence, because you're not the most pleasant to look at, to be honest. Shadow Realm Rune. Scorpions hunt in packs, yes, alright. But they're so damn big that really I can deal with one, and that's about enough for me. Bondstone, what the hell is that? Bondstone. Bondstone. Do-do-do-do-do. Not quite. Where is it? There it is. Causes a spiritual explosion, consuming sprite dwelling within sprite stone. Okay, sprite stone, excellent. What? Causes a spiritual explosion, consuming sprite dwelling within sprite stone. Yeah, but I guess it's just I can't quite remember what it's called, but I think it was in... It may have even been in Elden Ring in the base game, but like those... It's like glintstone that you can crush and then it sends ranged attacks. I think, and it's a consumable, but this is described as a reusable item. This is not even a consumable, which is interesting. I need to equip this and see what the hell is going on, because I don't really understand it. Why would I just have access to an infinite use ranged attack? Because I think that's what it's referring to, is it not? I mean, it consumed my FP, but I don't really know what I just achieved. It's a Sprite advertisement, okay. Yeah. Feeling real thirsty for a Sprite now. Anyway, I don't fucking get it. What is it doing? It's actually not consuming my FP, I was wrong. Whatever you are, I don't need you. I might benefit from you if I knew how you worked, but I certainly don't need you, so I'm going to leave you right there and promptly forget about you. Goodbye. And goodbye. Oh, fine, I'll pick up your stuff. It's wow, burrow. Sorry, I mean, that might sound a little excessive, but that's what it's called. I mean, I'm not the one who names these things. Where is it? I just want to make it very clear that that's precisely how you pronounce it. It might be in crafting materials. Where is it? There you go. Raw! Raw! There's just a really unnecessary H in there. Raw! You really are useless, aren't you? I stood there, inert, for about 60 seconds, or at least 30, and you still couldn't hit me. Oh, not the African ones. I'm assuming I can open that door, but I think we should go through here first. Whatever this is. This is actually a bit intimidating. Where is this taking me? Is this a boss? No, it doesn't appear to be, but... should I go through the door or go through here? Let's check to make sure that the door can open, because that's what happened last time. I was expecting to progress through a door, went in a different direction, backtracked to the door, only to find that it couldn't be opened in the first place. So I really should confirm this. Okay. Apparently the Bondstone does something if you target an enemy. Well, that would make sense. Alright, let's give the Bondstone another try. Another try. I'm just curious as to why it's infinite. Does it have to be an aggressive enemy? Oh, very good, very good. Back into my inventory you go, you fucking useless object. Alright, let's not continue in this direction just yet. Got some burrow. Going to head through here first. Hopefully it's not taking me to an area that I've already been, but I can see that there are enemies that haven't been killed, so I'm going to, for the time being, assume that it's not an area that I've been to before. Alright, Uragan. Goodbye. I'm not sure about the rolling. The rolling's a bit far-fetched. It's already a scorpion spider. I think adding rolling to it is a little bit of a stretch. Take it easy, Mr. Pincer. Somber smithing stone. Again, no shortage of smithing stones. I certainly don't need them. Like, I'm not even unsure as to whether or not I think I need them. I literally do not need them. They are of no use to me, to be honest. They will save me the trouble of getting the souls, or rather the runes, in order to purchase them later, but I have full access to all stones. In fact, an infinite number of all stones, purchasable for money. So, it's very kind of them to give me so many, but I don't need them. I really don't. He was a very well-formed fellow player, was he not? You are a sneaky little bastard. I'm sure you've been told that before. Oh my god, look how effectively he's countering me, just in general. Alright. You done now? I suspect not. And on it goes. You tried to hug me, but missed. I will not reciprocate with my own hug. I will, however, whip you into submission. Oh, stop. Sometimes, see, if you get the timing wrong, like if you're in the wrong rhythm with this guy, you'll just get hit really hard and very consistently. Oh my god. I can actually feel myself losing the urge to even bother right now with you. Maybe I've fought you just a few too many times. Losing the desire. Goodbye. Fucking hell. Anyway. Just wanted to look at the scenery if you don't mind. I'm a bit worried that I'm travelling this far away from that door that I saw. Hopefully I can get back to it. I don't want to get lost. Oh, okay, so you need a craftable consumable called a Sprite Stone in order to launch things using that, that item that I picked up very well. What is this? Is this for Torrent? It is for Torrent. Well, I'm already up here, so I don't need to make use of it. Speaking of Torrent, I'm going to use him to get back to where I was, because I think we've now exhausted the potential of this direction. I don't know what I achieved by going this way, but... Or maybe... Yeah, I guess it is a shortcut of some kind, because I can use Torrent to jump up here, and then I guess this takes me to the door, so... Why I would need to make use of that shortcut, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know where that is, but... I guess that's what it is. That's its function. Anyway. I knew you'd be targetable. I don't trust you fuckers for one moment. You seem relatively harmless, but... Anyway. Yeah, snake snails. So we've got scorpion spiders and snake snails. Or snail snakes. Whatever sounds better, I guess. Thin beast bones. Don't know how many bones you've got in that body, but I'd suspect very few, if any. Why am I getting another one of these? I'm a bit lost. Where is my way forward? Because I opened a door to get in here, and this also is one of these columns of air that I would make use of. Time for dung, then be wary of regret. I just saw someone drop down there. Oh, okay, apparently, I mean, that guy survived by dropping down there with Torrent, so I'll do it. Why not? Am I really going to survive that? Oh, apparently, okay. So, if you've got one of these airstreams, it completely removes the falling damage, which is something I hadn't noticed in the base game. So that's probably something that I would have immediately seen as an opportunity to drop down had I been aware of that. I'm glad that I was able to see someone else do that. I probably wouldn't have tried. Yeah, that was a very helpful message. What are these things? I'm just pleased to be fighting different enemies. I'm so sick of fighting those Black Knights and the soldiers. I can't do it anymore. Alright, where the hell are we? This is such a large area, I think you need to use Torrent to explore it. Otherwise it'll take too long to make any progress. I like how it looks though. What I do want to do, however, is find a point to finish. Because I'm approaching that time where I want to be ending the live stream. Oh, I saw that statue of Marika. That usually means that I'm instead approaching a boss, not a point to finish. Oh my god, it's one of you. Oh my god, you've got a new weapon as well. I hate these guys. I do genuinely find them difficult. Something about how they're designed. I think it might be their extreme poise. Their resistance to almost anything you do to them. I can try the whip, see if it flinches him. It doesn't flinch him. I shouldn't be surprised. Alright. Maybe I can use the whip insofar as that it has good range. You can see the amount of health that this guy has. I don't see how I'm going to benefit from fighting you. Whoops. Still hits me, of course. What is that? Are you a centaur? Well, that was one of the most interesting aspects of the Crucible that I've seen. A fucking centaur. Feel like I had a bit of a backstab opportunity going there. What are you doing now? You can become that flower that has the ranged attacks. Oh, congratulations, I guess. I'm going to go to the Stake of Marika, or Statue of Marika, whatever it's called, and finish things up there. I hope that I can come back in. Do you think that I can load into the game from here? I think I can. That shouldn't be an issue. Okay, that's going to be it for the live stream. I hope you all enjoyed. With the edit... Oh, fuck off. With the edit, I think that's only going to be about an hour and a half, but it's all I've got time for today, unfortunately. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time I'm recording Elden Ring or anything else you'd like to watch. Bye-bye for now.